Today, I'm going to share information about a company that has naturally surged by 1,659% over the past 5 years and is one of only 2 US-based companies of its kind. At the same time, it's not the first company I've shared with you. For example, in over 50 videos, I analyzed and shared dozens of early-stage companies like AMPX, Rigetti, Wolf, and Hive, and most of them have since brought us hundreds of % in profits. If you don't believe me, go through my channel and watch those videos one by one, and you, too, can benefit from these opportunities, because most of these companies are still in the early stages. So let's begin. Uranium Energy Corporation is a uranium producer based in Corpus Christi, Texas, USA. The company is focused on developing uranium deposits in the US using in-situ recovery methods, and in recent years, it has also been working on the high-grade Roughrider project in Canada. Under the leadership of CEO Amir Adnani, UEC has become one of the fastest-growing uranium companies listed on the NYSE American. In fact, among the company's acquisitions is Rio Tinto's Sweetwater plant in Wyoming, bought in 2024 for $175 million. On top of that, the company has been acquiring various uranium assets, which has brought UEC's annual production capacity to 12.1 million pounds, making it the company with the largest licensed resource base in the US. From a financial perspective, UEC transitioned into a producer in 2025. According to the company's half-year results for the fiscal year ending July 31, 2025, UEC earned $66.8 million in revenue from selling 810,000 pounds of uranium. While the company posted a net profit of $24.5 million from these sales, amortization, and other costs still led to a segment-level loss. According to Reuters, UEC's 2025 revenue stands at $66.84 million, with a per-share loss of $0.20. As noted, due to expenditures, the company didn't achieve a concrete net profit, but the half-year performance was revolutionary compared to the previous year. The current financial position is strong. As of July 2025, the company reports $321 million in cash and physical uranium reserves, with no debt. For example, UEC's quarterly press release states that this liquidity is not tied to any debt. At the same time, UEC successfully raised additional capital through a stock offering in late 2025. In early October, the company completed a $203 million equity raise, announcing that the funds will be used for the development of the American Uranium Processing and Conversion Corporation. UEC also has unusually low operating costs. For the first half of 2025, the cash cost per pound of uranium produced was $27.63, with a total cost of $36.41. This is extremely competitive compared to current spot prices. By selling its physical reserves at real-time market prices, UEC has maximized its gains from rising uranium prices. Currently, the company is holding 1.356 million pounds of uranium from the second half of production and plans to add another 300,000 pounds by the end of 2025. Uranium Energy Corp also values strategic partnerships. Under a 2025 memorandum with Radiant Industries, UEC will supply clean uranium from its Wyoming and Texas operations for Radiant's Kalida's portable nuclear microreactor project. CEO Amir Adnani has stated that partnerships with next-generation reactor developers like Radiant and TerraPower offer major advantages in strengthening the U.S. uranium supply chain. Additionally, UEC has a significant stake in Uranium Royalty Corp, which gives it royalty income beyond production earnings. The company's board includes well-known industry figures. UEC's chairman is former U.S. Secretary of Energy Spencer Abraham, who emphasizes that building a fully integrated domestic uranium supply chain is critical for national security. Amir Adnani, meanwhile, promotes nuclear energy ideals aimed at reducing dependence on oil and gas. Under his leadership, the company has reactivated the Christensen Ranch project and plans to fully operate the Burke Hollow deposit by the end of 2025. In addition, UEC has completed initial technical work at the high-grade Roughrider uranium deposit in Canada. UEC's growth in recent years isn't just about internal developments. This rise is also directly linked to a global surge in demand and interest in nuclear energy. As the shift toward carbon neutrality accelerates, governments and major industries are prioritizing nuclear energy as a stable, clean, and reliable energy source. Recent reports indicate that global uranium demand is expected to increase by nearly 30% by 2030 and potentially double by 2040. This makes it necessary to open new mines, expand production, and rebuild supply chains. Current production meets only short-term market needs, but uranium shortages are expected after 2030. The U.S. government has also also taken steps to support the nuclear sector. In late 2024, the U.S. administration signed agreements with 6 major companies to produce and purchase low-enriched uranium. The goal is to strengthen domestic energy security and reduce dependence on foreign supplies. The Department of Energy is also prioritizing the development of new enrichment and conversion facilities, especially for restoring the U.S. uranium cycle. Uranium Energy Corp aims to lead this process. The company wants to build a fully integrated production chain by processing uranium domestically into UF6, the final form before fuel fabrication. This is strategically important for U.S. energy independence and positions UEC with a unique advantage in the market. UEC's actions in this direction reflect both its financial stability and technological agility. The company has acquired new mining areas in recent years and expanded the use of in-situ recovery technology to minimize production costs. This method is not only environmentally safer but also significantly reduces production expenses. Meanwhile, long-term U.S. energy plans further solidify UEC's future. Based on policies signed by Donald Trump, nuclear energy capacity in the U.S. is expected to grow nearly fourfold to 400 gigawatts by 2050. Under this plan, local companies like UEC will play leading roles in production, processing, and enrichment. Amid all these political and economic developments, growing demand for nuclear energy isn't just coming from power plants. Big data, artificial intelligence, crypto mining, and high-tech industries are also rapidly growing energy consumers. Their need for stable and cheap energy has put nuclear power back in the spotlight. As a result, UEC's recent performance cannot be explained solely by market manipulation or short-term speculation. The company's rise is rooted in fundamental changes in the global energy landscape and U.S. strategic decisions that fit perfectly with UEC's business model. Uranium Energy is moving forward with the goal of becoming the strongest U.S.-based uranium company within the next 5 to 10 years. If the world is truly moving toward clean energy and carbon reduction, then companies like UEC will be the main winners of this transition. Before we move on to analyst opinions, I'd like to remind you that I have a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers on this channel. If we reach 1,000 subscribers, I'll reveal all the companies in my portfolio that have already taken off and made me significant profits, one by one. If you're interested, please subscribe so we can reach this goal together. Now let's continue. Market analysts mostly give positive forecasts for UEC stock. Based on 11 top analyses on MarketBeat, the stock has an average rating of moderate buy, with 7 buy, 2 strong buy, 1 hold, and just 1 sell rating. The average 12-month price target is $14.19, with projections ranging from a high of $19.75 to a low of $10. Major investment banks have also issued positive ratings on UEC. For example, Goldman Sachs analyst Brian Lee maintained his buy rating and raised the target to $17. Canaccord Genuity's Katie LaChapelle upgraded the stock from speculative to buy and set a price target of $17.50. Other financial firms have provided targets in similar ranges. Alexander Pierce from BMO Capital has a $14 target, Joe Rager from Roth Capital has $16, and Heiko Illa from H.C. Wainwright sees it at $19.75. Unofficial sources also show enthusiasm. On stock analysis, UEC is rated a strong buy with a one-year average target of $15.80. In general, analysts see a 20 to 30% upside potential in the stock. However, not everyone is entirely optimistic. A Seeking Alpha article stated that UEC is overvalued and downgraded due to operational results, with some sell ratings appearing. Critics argue that the company has yet to show solid profits and that the sharp rise over the last 5 years may be driven by speculative demand. On the other hand, UEC's management and supporters argue that the current valuation reflects rising future energy demand and government backing, making the growth natural, not speculative. If you want my personal opinion, I must say that the US is only now beginning to take this sector seriously. One of the main reasons for this was the massive energy gap following the rise of artificial intelligence, and it seems uranium is the most practical and clean solution to this issue. Looking at the sector overall, I see competitors like Cameco Corporation, Kazatomprom Energy Fuels, and Denison Mines, but only two two of them are US-based, and one of those two is UEC. At the same time, UEC is arguably the company that makes the best use of in-situ recovery technology. So, if I consider the fact that this sector is just now gaining momentum and that the world's most powerful country, the US, is seriously entering the field, it seems inevitable that companies in this sector will make huge progress in time. Once again, let me remind you, I'm not a trader and I'm not focused on making $10-15 a day. I'm trying to build wealth. With that in mind, I look at the long-term potential of the companies I invest in, and I'm not interested in 3 to 5 month gains. So if we're looking for a company to invest in for the 2030s and beyond, this one seems to have that potential for now. The 1,659% growth over the past 5 years didn't come from any reverse split, it's all natural. Taking all this into account, I believe this company still has a long way to go over the next few years. Before wrapping up, I want to mention that if you want to receive up to $30 in free stocks or crypto, you can register on the QuantFury platform using my invitation code via the link pinned in the comments. And if you enjoy my videos, you can buy me a cup of coffee using the other link I've pinned. It'll help keep me motivated to keep making more content.